step back one.
She always looks horrified.
No,
Right.
I'm trying to get your face in it, Bubs.
Yeah, I'm trying to stay close enough I can touch buttons.
Yeah, you don't need to. No. Oh, yeah, to
Yes,
share
I
the
do.
group. Okay.
Welcome to another exciting episode of We Just Appear to Disagree.
Feel real fun for all on the 27th of September, 2024.
Right.
And it's your manifesting questions answered live.
No, we changed the name.
What do you mean we changed the name?
We changed it to Your Manifesting Questions Answered Right.
No, you didn't. You got live here.
Hey, wait till you see the thing. I know.
Wait till you see what thing?
I reserved the right to change my mind at any time.
Okay.
Coral, welcome to the show. Oh, what a day, guys. Shopping. Nailed it. Got stuff. Coral, Talia, my remarkable friends.
Yeah.
The sun will come out remarkable. And for you guys that are just tuning in, we have a live call USA Sunday. I put up some notices here and there, sent out an email. The seats are about half gone. I'd love it if you joined us because we're going to dive into some cool shit like pruning the vine. And let me ask Victoria, let's put her on the spot, shall we?
Yeah.
The way that you actually prune plants,
Yes.
has it changed over the years and did I help?
Yes and yes.
All right. That's all we're going to say. Because a lot of people think pruning the vine means standing around with a damn saw all day and cutting forever. Right?
But I don't.
Yeah. Thank you
No.
for playing, Victoria.
Yes.
All right. So we did, feelitrealfun.com for the refunds. And Alex is here, another
Michael.
remarkable kid. Lydia is here. She's not remarkable yet. That's all right. All right. You're doing good.
Good.
And, all right. Oh, I should have a Neville Goddard quote.
Yes.
Run and get the prosperity pack real quick.
Really? It's okay.
All right.
But
Shall we
you
dive
have
in,
got to
Victoria?
know 96 days left.
There's 96 days left of the year, and this is when I should do what marketers say to do. It's like, you know what? Time is running out. And by the way, a lot of people are putting off till next year what they could do today, or putting off tomorrow to what they could do today, and they're just in a state called putting off. Good God. Let's ask Victoria, how many websites have I built this week?
Oh, I
You don't know.
don't know. I've lost count.
You've lost count.
Yes.
Yeah. How many videos have I made in the past month? Yeah, you don't know. You can't keep up.
No.
Right. Anyway, some of us imagine what moves us. Some of us imagine that we need inspiration and perspiration. But I digress. Victoria, let us dive in.
Oh, thank you,
Heather's
Alex.
here too. All right.
Alex put the link.
Look at that. The remarkable Heather is here.
And
Sandy is here. Not
The
remarkable
remarkable
yet.
Alex put in the link for Prosperity Pack.
That's
So,
awesome.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
we sent out the email for that today.
Right.
But I digress.
Okay.
All right.
Cool. So the first question today is from Savjit. Neville Goddard, intensity of imagination.
All right.
That's right, and I've got to keep my mouth up. So Savjit asks, what does Neville mean when he says intensity of imagination?
All right. Right.
That's
by the way,
it, is it?
No, that's not it. Right.
All
Like
right.
that's called Tony Robbins. Nothing against Tony. Love Tony. Right. He's got more teeth than God. Right. And he's very tall. He actually is an NLP practitioner, and he's not that good in my opinion. But he's tall. He's got teeth and a great marketing team. But I seem to digress. God, I'm going to get the hate mail on this one. I always do.
Wow.
I say this stuff, and it's like, radio. Ready?
Yep.
Intensity of imagination, right? So one of the things that I notice is people do this. I'm feeling it real. It's feeling good. Feeling it real. Feeling good. Feeling real. Feeling good. And they come back and go, shit.
Look what I can see and
Yeah.
hear.
So the echo has more intensity than what you've imagined. Right? When something is natural, whenever you fully surrender to it, it takes on a vividness. You can't force it. You don't fake it. You don't cheerlead it. Right? You discover it through exploration. Right? So that's intensity. Right? The intensity of the imaginal experience isn't burst a blood vessel or anything like that. The intensity of the imaginal experience is, I'll tell you what, it's very persuasive. And I'll use the Oahu thing, right? So when the Oahu method, blah, 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 money slowed down, what did he do? Instead of just staring at the numbers, he experienced what implied things were all right. to the point where the numbers were revealing themselves as what they are, the result of prior imaginings. And this is where we get to play. I'm sure he didn't go, I'm a millionaire, bullshit, right? Yeah, it's this surrender to being the participant in the play. So this is a great question. And Sir, how do we say Surfjet's name? Yes.
That's how I would have said it.
That's how I would have said it too.
Yes.
Stay tuned.
Yes.
Right? Because we're going to continue to explore your question and so much more.
Cool. Thanks, Sashi.
All right.
The next question is from Remarkable Coral.
Oh my God, and she's here as well.
Yes. What does Neville mean by feeling? And Coral asks some examples. Feeling it heard, feeling is seen, feeling the touch. Is the feeling done through the senses or another mode to the nutter?
All right, so let's talk about Victoria's Yum method, right? Because I started sharing that because it's a great Joseph Goddard to the max.com thing, right? Look how handsome I look today. I am incredibly handsome, Victoria. So this whole thing of like, there's Victoria's Yum. Right? Now, I can make a movie about Victoria's Yum and imagine her prepping the food or me prepping the food and the food cooking and all that stuff, and it goes on forever. And then Victoria brings it over wearing her little gown and all that bullshit. Or I can experience what matters, right? And what matters is my experience of her experience. And this is where I love about feeling, because when I can honestly feel my experience of her yum, because I couldn't get fish today.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, nobody had it.
That's all right.
Right?
It's public holiday.
Yeah, but we'll get it when we
okay.
can.
Yeah.
Right? Nobody had it.
Maybe Monday or something.
Maybe Monday.
Yeah.
Right? Monday morning, you sure look fine. All right? So it's this feeling, what I feel when I experience her yum. And I know it's true. It's not a hopeful someday. It's a home in that.
That's exactly what I was going to say, like with my click of the cottage door.
Yes.
Because for me, it's like the things like the feeling it heard. Like, yes, I heard a click. Yes, it's like I saw my hand.
Yes.
To feel the handle. But it was like, that was the sensory vividness. The feeling for me was secure and home, that the cottage is just this beautiful little secure bubble now.
Yeah.
And I reckon that's what brought it home. So the instant I hear the click, that's the feeling of.
So this is really important because, so when I met you, there was a little cottage out back. And we had a friend that was doing some work for us. And we say, hey, when you and Patty come to Australia, or you can stay in the cottage. And we sent her a photo of it.
Oh.
Now, the problem is,
Yes.
I don't see what's in the photo. I see the cottage. Right? And you don't even know.
Or feel the cottage.
Yeah, I feel the cottage.
Yeah.
Right? And her response was pretty much like, shit. Right?
We're not staying
We're not
there.
staying there, right? But now it's a lovely little place. And what's happened since then? So let me ask you, way back then, when we would have sent that photo to her, how long do you think the cottage had to go? In other words, how long do you think it was going to last?
Oh, it was falling down.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
a couple of years, it would have been fallen to the ground, probably.
So how long do you think it'll last now?
As long as the house.
Indefinitely.
It's
It's signed, sealed, delivered. And there's that thing, you know, like literally the feeling of signed, sealed, delivered. It's not like, oh, I hope, that kind of thing. Great question, Coral. And notice how it just takes the sensual experience and it brings it back to it's true. It's me. And notice there's a lack there. I love manifesting with lack. You lack worrying about the damn thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know it's there.
Yeah.
So.
Cool.
All right.
Excellent. Thank you, Coral, for your question.
And Lydia says, an assumption, though false, will harden into fact if persisted. Cool. The only thing I don't like about the word persisted is, in today's culture, and again, things were probably different in 1970, persist, people think that means push. Notice she surrendered to a click. How many, after you surrendered to it, how many times do you imagine it?
I didn't. I don't
Yeah, why
think.
would you?
No.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So she felt it until she felt it. And then the feeling persisted, not the imaginal push. So that's a great quote, and we'll reveal another level to it. So that's great, Lydia. Thank you. And Coral, great question. Thank you. And Victoria, thank you.
Thank you, Tracy.
All right, I'm in that kind of mood.
Okay.
You should have heard me today. I asked Thelma, the fish lady. I said, "Yo, Thelma, this is what I'm looking for." And she goes, "No, we don't have that." Right? Love Thelma, right? And I said, "All right." And I could see one of the nice things that's happened since the loogies and the lockdowns is in Australia. We have first class fish now that they used to export. And they discovered, hey, Australians will actually buy this shit. So all the cheap shit, like Victoria wants, hard to get, right? And she just loves that, what's it called, perch. Yeah, it's the
I
perch
just
or the
felt
bassa
like
kind of thing.
Yeah.
And it's a cheaper fish, but not everyone will bother having it because it's a cheaper fish. So, first class, baby.
The next question is from Dream Driven Day Chira3. How to manifest a lot of money.
All right.
And Chira3 asks,
It should be said a latte, by the way.
Chira3 asks how to manifest a lot of money, like
latte.
$10,000 in less time, and open up to receive it in abundance. What mindset opens big money blessings?
Cool. So I'm going to take it step by step. This is really good. Ready? So how to manifest a latte of money, right? So for me, a latte is like a coffee, right? It just like there's something I get to surrender to, and it ain't size. There's going to be quality. So one of the things that I notice, and I say that a lot, right? So one of the things I notice is I say one of the things I notice a lot, right? Is people will get all caught up in quantity.
Yeah.
The higher the quantity, the harder it is.
This actually, Chira3, was one of the lessons in DDD, but yes.
So as we return to that, we get to go, radio. What are the qualities? A latte. And I tell people at the pool, they'll say something, and I'll say, "Oh yeah, I've already had my 7 coffees today," and yeah, I'm up at 5. It's 11 o'clock, right? It's already dinner time for me, right? And I'll say what's really cool is, right, when you blend it with grass-fed butter unsalted, the fat in the butter slows down the uptake of the caffeine. Right, and it nurtures your brain. You get all that good vitamin K2 and all that good stuff. And now I'll go, did you say butter? I says, yeah. What happens, now you can do it 2 ways. Zara, welcome to the show. You can take a piece of butter and put it on black coffee and drink it. And it's like drinking a hot oil slick.
Yeah, no,
right?
don't
It's
do
disgusting. On the other hand, if you put the butter in the coffee and you blend it, it comes out like a latte, and the quality is totally different, and it's really yummy. So my suggestion is to discover what would you do with the money, and how would the quality of your day be different. So let's continue with the next bit on that question.
So in less time.
You're imagining it's going to be a while.
Yes.
All right, so we call that counter imagining. So it's, I'm imagining it's going to be a while. It's going to take time. It's going to be a struggle. Stop it. Right? By the way, Sunday's call, we're going to be exploring pruning in some cool ways. And odds are you're probably having slow show up in a lot of places. And we're going to explore some ways to prune that so far I've found nobody talking about, because they're not. So, Alex, if you can find a link for Sunday's call, I would love that. It'll be in the 2024 section at NevilleGoddardStore.com.
Cool.
But I digress. Caroline, welcome. Sweet Caroline.
And
Bum, bum, bum.
so after how to manifest a lot of money, like 10,000 in less time, and open up to receive it in abundance.
Right. So you're probably imagining being closed down and experiencing it as a trickle. Well, you got it.
Yeah,
These are the
it's
shit
not
things
the
we get
dry
to
leaf
notice.
and the boundless
Yeah,
forest.
the dry leaf and the boundless forest. You know, it'd be great. 20 grand today. Will it show up? Probably not. That's not the usual day. Right? If it does, coolio. On the other hand, give us today our daily bread. Right? I'm 58. I've managed to survive this freaking long. Right? I think it's pretty darn amazing. Right? And we continue to digress.
And Alex has done what you asked.
Alex, you are
You're
a
a rock
rock star.
Thank you.
All right.
And the last bit of Sharastri's was, what mindset opens big money blessings?
My big thing with that is to move again from this whole thing from size. You're probably feeling small, to quality. Yeah, just bringing forth the quality. What would the quality of your day be like? How would it be different? You know, it's that kind of thing. So we'll continue to answer your question, corals and serviettes, as we go into the next question as well.
Very, very good.
All right.
See how you go saying all of that with after the next one, which is Howard.
Oh.
So, the next question's from Howard on Facebook. What is meant by the phrase, assume the feeling? Wow, so what was the other one? With intensity, imagination, and mean by feeling, and now assume the feeling. Cool.
Yeah, by the way, I don't make these up. That's the fun thing. Now, I did steal Howard's from a post, but the fact that he stuck it in there and these other ones are there, I figure, all right, we'll just make it easy. Howard, go watch the show.
Okay, so Howard asks, assuming the feeling of being your ideal self means cultivating the thoughts, emotions, and actions that reflect who you want to become until you naturally embody that identity. It's a shift from is this what you were going to say? Or
this is what he said.
Right. It's a shift from wanting to being by living in alignment with the person you believe you already are at your core.
All right, Howard, I think you're onto something. But a long time ago, before you showed up, we did something called the "This is so complicated" challenge, right? And the goal was to walk around, or the outcome, or the method, or whatever the fuck we want to call it. It was to walk around and constantly be adding, and this is so complicated.
Yes.
Right? In other words, we're entering the world of the addict, right? And so let's have some fun with this. Let me see that so I can see that. So, assuming the feeling of being your ideal self means, by the way, that's it in a nutshell, but we'll get back to that. So, assuming the feeling of being your ideal self, by the way, I don't like the word ideal. Ready? Watch this. Well, there's who I am, and then there's my ideal self.
I never actually am it. Anyway.
Yeah, exactly. Now, so it's like, what's the ideal meal, right? Versus, you know what, I choose. Right? So let's just explore what it's like to just decide. I choose to say hi to my friend Bruce Rube. Hi, Bruce. Now, the ideal way to respond to Bruce Rube entering the building, it takes me up in my head, right? So let's just, right, do you have a desire? You know, are you going to say no or more please to it? Oh, let's say more please, just for fun. What's the next bit? Cultivating the thoughts, emotions, and actions. All those are going to happen anyway. It's sort of like when I get in the motor car. Today I get in Victoria's motor car, right? And it's got a remote key fob and it's got a start button. And I sit down and the dogs are in the back seat and Bruce is looking like, hey, Dad, let's go. Emmett's going, right? That's what Emmett does. And I hit the start button for Victoria's car. And out comes the most horrible noise. I mean, it's horrible. It's just radio. It's the morning show. Right, and it just disturbs me, right? It's. I don't need distractions. I'm not into them. I don't need all this extra in my life. I want to be productive. I try to call someone, they aren't available. That's fine. But let's look at that again. So cultivating the thoughts, emotions, and actions. I don't have to cultivate my thoughts, my emotions, my actions. All I know is I want to call Stephanie. Right? Happy Loving Teacher wants to call Stephanie. Right? So I'm in the state of Happy Loving Teacher. It's not an ideal state. It's a chosen state. The ideal state would probably be something like, who is the Playboy guy?
Hugh Hefner.
Hugh Hefner. Right? The state of Hugh. Right? I could have me a dressing gown. Victoria could wear a spiffy outfit. Yeah.
With Hugh, bunny ears.
Yeah, with bunny ears, right? So that reflect who you want to become. Yeah, all that shit's already happened. Your behavior changes, your emotions change, your thinking changes when you actually assume the experience of who you choose to be. It's a shift from wanting to being. Now, here's an interesting one. Ready? There was a point where I wanted to be married to Victoria. Well, the wanting is over, right? Yeah, we're married.
Right.
Right? Yeah, I want a lot of money. Well, all right, yeah. There's a fascinating thing with the moment a desire comes upon you, a hunger. You surrender to what implies that hunger. What would imply that hunger, right? So we talked about the difference in the size of a $20 bill, I think maybe 3 shows ago, the BMX3. Check that out.
Oh, yeah.
It's seeing the world through a set of different eyes. So I go and I see Thelma the fish lady. And I say, Thelma, this is what I'm looking for. We don't have that. And I said, oh, no biggie. She goes, no biggie? I says, yeah, it's not for me. It's for her. All right? And she's seen us together. She goes, you funny man, you funny man. Yeah, love you, Thelma. See you at 20. Right? But there's the state of happy loving husband wants to buy her the fish, can't buy her the fish, still has fun. So it's coming from a state, how I perceive, how I behave, all that stuff is spontaneous. I didn't plan on telling Thelma, doesn't matter, not for me, it's for her, right? And it's a lovely dance. And finally, by living in alignment, it's like it's something out there with the person you believe you already are at your core. I can tell you this much. When you're in state, people perceive it. So I go to the pool, and I see 3 kinds of women at the pool. Those who believe that they're a good time, those that believe that they're marriage material. Right?
What's the third?
Yeah, exactly. and here's the fun thing, right? You can tell, right? And it's the same thing with guys. There are some guys you just look at them and you go, I wouldn't let my daughter date that guy. Right? You don't got to hear him speak. You don't got to hear him talk. You can just feel it. And it's not something mystical like a vibe. It's just their essence. It oozes. It's a fragrant odor. Hey, Hope. It's just one of those things. When I met her, I didn't go, damn, that woman looks like she'd be a good time. Right.
Oh, she look angry.
She look very angry. She no get fish. Right? But you get it? Does Victoria look to you guys like she'd be a good time?
Girl.
No, she should be someone worth partnering with. And she just oozed it. Yeah, you want a good time? Not me. Right? Meanwhile, the states of happy loving husband and happy loving wife they're being exhibited. So what is meant by the phrase assume the feeling? You're assuming the feeling, the experience of the wish fulfilled. And it's just like my friend Hope shows up. Hope's done a lot of courses with us. We've done some one-on-ones. And you saw a spontaneous, oh, hi, Hope. Yeah, I'm excited to see her. Right? And it's not like I have to cultivate the thoughts, emotions, and actions that reflect who I want to become until I
become your own yourself.
In a moment, in the twinkle of an eye, you can change states. And we'll dive more into that, but I hope that gives to you, Howard, and explore this stuff. Don't ever settle for explanations. The head loves explanations, and there's too many explanations in the world today. On the other hand, happy holidays. Let's do some exploring. All right. And live call Sunday. So, Victoria.
Oh, excellent.
Shall we keep
Thank you,
going?
Howard.
Thank you, Howard. That was great.
Oh, yeah, I didn't test you. So, and we'll experience more of your question and...
Yeah.
What is it?
And those other kids, right?
Okay.
No longer in a state of happy, loving, keeping track of all that stuff.
And the last question today is from remarkable Lisa Ann Rock.
That's right.
Fragrance of influence. Oh, excuse me.
Oh, no.
And Lisa asks, hello, 20 in Victoria. Neville instructs, after you have assumed the feeling of the wish fulfilled, Do not close the experience as you would a book, but carry it around like a fragrant odour. Instead of being completely forgotten, let it remain in the atmosphere, communicating its influence automatically to your actions and reactions.
By the way, Lisa in La Roque sends me this before I put up the post asking for all these.
Yeah, and then all
Right.
those questions. So it's amazing.
And I just, by the way,
touched on.
at 3 a.m, I'm just experiencing a ooh, right?
Yeah.
And about 5 a.m, Lisa sends me a question. About 5:30, 6 o'clock, I put up the post, and the magic starts. Mm-hmm. So.
Mm. You spoke to my question in Remarkable. Never had I met a relaxed woman. You elaborated the feminine opens like the garden, moment to moment, blossoms, fragrance, colour, and an ongoing emergent of life. Relaxed seems to be one with opening, where beauty and imagination come to life. Please share more. Thank you, Lisa.
What a great show that demonstrates that. The show just naturally opened and progressed. I didn't rearrange any of the questions. I did add Howard's in, right? And if you watch the progression of the show opens, and it continues to open. It's like flowers in the garden, and it's fascinating to me because, as we've explored in other shows, and Lisa brought this up, we are selectors, and so we get to select. This seed goes in that place. And we put it in, add a little bit of water, and let it roll. The sunshine takes care of it. Sometimes we have to add a little bit of water. That's okay. But this natural opening happens through attending. And attending is not forcing it.
No, because I was just going to say, it's like, in that state, like that opening, there's innocence and trust in that.
Yes.
And that you can't be unrelaxed if there's an innocence and trust. Do you know what I mean? Underlying it all. So
we were looking at stuff this week, and stuff that can take you into your head. And I'm back in the garden, and Victoria, she's a weirdo.
yeah,
And I just adore that. Yeah. I mean, like if she cooks rice, she tries to get every grain of rice out of the pot. All right, popcorn out of the bag, like no rice left behind. Right? Yeah, she just she's just lovely like that. And so she eats these things. They're nature's sausages. Somebody hashtag that. We call them carrots. Yeah, well, in Australia. And she gets these little baby carrots, right? Because they're innocent and trusting, yes. and they speak funny, right? Probably like Alex, and so we get these Dutch carrots, and she slices the tops off and puts the little carrot top, where the green shit is, and she just puts that in water. And there's a little on cotton wool, and there's a little thing out in the garden right now, and it's got like half a dozen of these little Dutch carrot tops. And they're growing, right? Yeah. And these little buggers, they're defenseless. The lesson of the mice people, the lesson of the plants, this comes from the Native American stuff, but it goes right back to the director, Neville Goddard stuff. We did some great shit on this last year. We're going to be kicking this up again. Innocence and trust. And I look at these carrots. So I've got shit on my mind, and I'm looking around. Shit on my mind, looking around. Shit on my mind, looking around. I vary my stuff. You guys in Remarkable know all about this. And suddenly I see these carrots, and the lesson of innocence and trust shows up. Innocence and trust. If I push, if I force, if I try to ignore 3D reality like a lot of people teach, it's insane. But Neville Goddard says to disregard the evidence of the senses. He doesn't say walk out in a bus. Abdullah said, Neville, walk in New York as though you're in Barbados. And Neville didn't go, cool, I'll walk out in front of buses. just to test if it works. Right? Neville survived that. I'm assuming he stopped for the buses. Could be wrong, by the way. I'm always willing to be wrong. But this innocent and trusting bit, disregard the evidence of the senses. If you do that, then you can be innocent and trusting and know how many roses are in the garden. I love asking her ambiguous questions. Because does he mean blooms? Does he mean plants?
Yes.
Does he mean kinds? I can ask one question that screws with her head 3 different ways.
Right? A lot would be the answer to
a lot would be more than you have counted. Right? So the rose blooms perfectly. We get to trust it. And this is the thing. When you feel a desire, that's the point in time where you can make a decision. Olave. Right? You feel a desire, that's when you can make a decision. No. Or more, please. That's the only decision you can make in the world as far as I can tell. And so what happens is the roses bloom perfectly. We don't go out there and pry at the damn things. Right? The moment you feel a desire, that's when you move it into its assumption, and you get to trust everything you do, all that you do, and all that befalls you. Neville says. He doesn't say sit around and wait. He doesn't say hide under the bed. He doesn't say wait for inspired action. All that you do, and all that befalls you. And there'll be somebody out there that wants to argue with me on this, and I'll say, Aida. Right?
Yeah, sorry, don't get that.
Yeah, the opera tickets.
Oh, yeah.
Right? Neville went and stood in line. He imagined giving his brothers the tickets. Yeah. And he, all right, I'll go stand in line. Yeah. He felt it to the point where the natural intensity had him put on his undies, put on his pants, put on his shoes. Hopefully. Right?
Yes.
Yeah, maybe not. Who knows? Right? I don't know. I'm always willing to be wrong. Yes. Right? And he goes and he basically stood in line.
And I think he
switched
even knew
line.
it was a sold out show.
It was a sold out show with millions of signs, or at least 10, maybe 4. But he switches lines because he feels the urge. The guy in front of him is a con man, and Neville catches him and confronts him. Probably saves the ticket guy's job, right? And Neville gets his tickets to the sold out show. Innocent and trusting. Huh. Right, or hide under your bed. That's totally up to you. But when you wear it like a fragrant odor, it can't help.
It can't help but permeate.
Yeah, exactly.
Everything.
You can't make it happen. You also can't stop it, but you also get to play your part. So today, Victoria had a desire, and she put it on the shopping list. And it was, grab me 2 bottles of wine. And I went, all right. So I went, and you'll never guess, right? The amazing Jess was working, and there were no wines on the shelf.
Wow.
Wow.
This happened last time.
Yeah.
Yes.
But about a meter away, there were the wines that Victoria wanted. Huh. And so I grabbed 2 of them.
That's what happened last time,
That's what happened last time, too. So she imagined something, right? And I didn't doubt it. I didn't hope it. I just surrendered to my experience of me having a happy wife. Right, drinking that wine. That's right. And lo and behold. Yeah. And it unfolded perfectly. But I wore it like a fragrant odor, and when I didn't see the wine there, I didn't close the book. I'm just like, all right. Yeah, and the amazing Jess is going to go climbing on shelves if she has to, right? Go out back. Yeah, I'll guard the store. You go to the warehouse, right? Because this is how it works.
Yeah, lovely.
All right. How'd we do?
I think we did ace.
All right. I think we did ace, too. By the way, this here shirt, I couldn't wear. I got this last year from one of those cheap Chinese companies, you know, where you can get shirts for like $5. So I ordered me 2 shirts. I think is this linen or something? I don't know. Cotton? Anyway.
It's probably just cotton, actually.
And I put it on, and Victoria just looked at me, right?
Yeah, no.
And it's like...
all those, a year ago, whenever it was.
Yeah, it's like, radio.
Not wearing that one.
Yeah, it's like, well, yeah, it just ain't moving, it just ain't grooving. And today I put it on, I'm like, look at that, this is awesome.
Yeah.
Emmett!
Okay.
All right, so, Richard, welcome to the show. Bop, bop, bop.
So, what we want to know is tell us what was your hashtag strawberry bit.
All right.
And mine was, all of them. how that fragrant odour quote
Gave to all of them.
gave to every single one. You know,
I should have had you read
what's
that
the
one first.
feeling? What's
Yeah.
you know? What does it remember? The intensity of imagination, or assume the feeling. What does it mean? Like, and it's like, as soon as you're in state, all the feeling just comes naturally. And while you're in state, it is a fragrant odour. It's just like wafting all around you.
Oh, yeah. Everybody played their part.
Yeah.
So it's 3 a.m. and I'm imagining a yummy show. All right. And then I chunk down a little bit. All right. Imagine the end of the yummy show. I've surrendered to that. And I wake up. And when I wake up, Lisa hadn't sent her question yet. And I didn't close the book. I went, all right. Because I've imagined a yummy show. I've imagined Lisa's question. I love entering with Lisa's questions. And I went and make my coffee, and I sit down, and hey, 20 for the show. Right there. All right. And that reminds me, by the way, oh, yeah, let's put up a post for the show. Right? I've already imagined a yummy one. Right, so I'll play my part, and up it goes. And then you all put up your comments, your questions, and they all fit. And I steal Howard's because it's like, I could type, but why should I type? Right? I type a lot. I type pages and pages every day, don't I?
Yeah.
But I digress. So, like, the whole way it all comes together, Lisa's question and quote weaves through all of them. And so let this cook your noodle, right? Effective imagining not only works backwards through time, but it can stop time, right? And it helps you realize time is not cause. Time is something else that you imagine up. For fun, join Remarkable.com. If you're here and you love what we do, join Remarkable.com. Go there, type it in, check it out. We've got 3 ways you can join, and it'll rock your world, unless you don't join. Huh.
Yeah.
All right. So,
Okay.
Vic and the Trick, Toria.
Yeah.
What's for lunch today?
Well, I'm having another piece of my smoked salmon leek tart dish.
Yum.
And I'm making myself now yummy cauliflower, leek, celery, and lots of fresh dill soup.
Yum. Everything
That's gonna be
organic and or
delicious.
from the garden.
Yeah. And you're having, of course,
I'm
meat.
having 2 pieces of yummy steak I get for about half price because that's how it rolls for me. I'm having some yummy pork that I got for half price because it rolls like that for me. And probably 2 eggs because eggs are my favorite vegetable. I just love eggs. All right.
excellent. Thanks, you
And I'll
guys.
probably fry the eggs in duck fat. Right? So that gives me like 4 barnyard animals in one meal. Imagine my glory.
Okay, you guys.
Have a lovely day, everyone. Now
Great
let's tell them where to go,
weekend.
what to do. Oh, yeah, joinremarkable.com. Look in the comments or check your email, or if you reach out to me, I can send you a link if you want to register for Sunday's call. We're going to now pruning in some cool ways in something called entropy.
Oh, are we?
Yes.
Okay.
And, yeah, can you
We
tell
had a little
there's
conversation about that.
Oh, this is good shit.
Yeah. And for refunds, visit our YouTube channel, philitrealfun.com.
Alex, thanks for
And
clicking
Alex,
the link.
thanks so much for posting the link.
Even though you talk like the Dutch carrots, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I mean, seriously, I hear vegetables. They scream at me.
Oh, is that Olivet?
That's
no,
Olivet.
It's a different Olivet.
No, that's Olivet.
Is it?
Yeah.
Hello, Olivet.
Olivet. Love you guys. Have a lovely day. See ya.